Devil May Cry 5 is the 6th entry in Capcom's action hack-and-slash adventure title. The story takes place a couple years after Devil May Cry 4, with Nero being gifted the Devil May Cry sign. Dante is still struggling to pay rent with his Devil May Cry business, and a mysterious stranger approaches Dante telling him that a powerful demon has been resurrected. That stranger is a brand new character to the series and with a brand new playstyle, V.
So, what's your name?
I have no name. I am but 2 days old. Just kidding. You can call me V.
Okay, V. Why don't you tell me everything about this job?
In this title there are 3 playable characters: the Demon Hunter Nero, the mysterious V, and the legendary Demon Hunter Dante. Each of these characters have unique playstyles and personalities. Nero is a beast who changes between his Devil Breakers, which are replacements for his stolen arm. Nero is a resource type character. In Devil May Cry 4, his character archetype was a Dante Light. He had a lot of similar mechanics to Dante, except for the Exceed system, which is unique to him, which allows you to rev your sword in between strikes to increase the damage of the next strike and change the properties of his moves. In 5 he's been changed to more of a resource character and his moveset has been expanded, allowing Nero to have more combo capabilities and more tools at his disposal, such as the ability to have an invincible dodge or have the ability to ride a rocket arm. However, these resources come at a cost, as you cannot use both actions simultaneously. You have to get rid of your resources and change your combo game. Nero's breakers complement his other tools and give him more options for movement, defense and offense. Experimentation is a key part of the game. Most of the meat of the title being your own creativity, how you combo enemies, how you dodge enemies, how you deal with the environment.
Hey, I could use a hand.
Ugh, you got it. Wait right there.
The Enigma V. The newest playable character in the series, and a character who is less direct and fragile. He fights using 3 companions, all of which pay homage to the original Devil May Cry. Shadow, a shape-shifting shadow cat who transforms into assorted blades, spikes, swords, axes and jagged whips. Prowling the battlefield, this feline is one of V's main offensive tools. Griffin, the smart-mouthed poultry who creates thunderstorms, static shocks and constant projectile barriers, is how V fires projectiles. It's a weird experience handling V for the first time, as you don't attack directly with V, you attack with his sidekick characters. V is more of a calm, composed overseer than a brute powerhouse like Nero. So most of the time playing as V, you'll be navigating around the enemies and ordering attacks, keeping yourself safe and reading a little poetry while his friends strike fiercely. The third amalgamation is Nightmare, a demonic shapeshifter who comes barreling towards the earth, smashing through walls or bursting through the ground. Nightmare is your powerhouse, only usable by tapping into V's demonic power and using some Devil Trigger, a bar underneath the life bar that allows you to call Nightmare or power up your other 2 followers for increased damage. Reading poetry builds his Devil Trigger, allowing you to unleash more destruction. So while your friends are wreaking havoc, you can sit back and analyse the situation. V is a character all about analysing your environment and attacking accordingly. You can play it rather safe with this character on lower levels, but on harder levels you'll have difficulty reading poetry.
The palm of your hand, an eternity in an hour.
Awaken now.
I will finish
Uh-huh.
With the first two characters easing players into the experience, Dante explodes with a monumental amount of options. Off the bat, Dante starts with 4 weapons. 4 different switchable styles, allowing for an expansive moveset, allowing him to dodge, parry, teleport, and also open up more combo potential. And these can be upgraded to further expand his moveset. Dante is a full-fledged playground. The limit of options you have is really down to your creativity. The depth of these options make Dante probably the most complex character in any character action title to date. These options aren't necessary, but they complement and add to the replayability of the title. In comparison, the other 2 characters are far less complex and almost feel like a tutorial to the main mechanics of the title. All 3 characters share a gun and sword button, but their style button changes drastically. With Nero, it uses his Devil Breakers. With V, it uses the ability to kill enemies. And with Dante, it uses your current selected style. Although they each have a large amount of depth between them, with Nero's concentrated aggressive mechanics that focus on timing to max out the exceed meter and V's spatial control, each character brings something unique and new to the table. Dante is a rather experimental character in Devil May Cry 5 with various different tools. Starting off the bat, he has 4 different weapons, 2 guns and 2 swords, and later on he gets an extra 2 guns and another 2 swords, each with their own unique playstyles and unique roles that bring large variety to the table when playing as Dante. He has the ability to dodge and parry, and the ability to do massive damage with different weapon types. It allows him to weave in and out of enemies, and really you're able to experiment and combo. There's a huge wealth of options available for this character. Much more options than there are available for Nero and V. With V unfortunately having the least amount of options, with only Shadow and Griffin as his main source of attack power, and he doesn't really get any more tools as he progresses through the game.
Power is everywhere.
Combat depth is the most emphasised component of Devil May Cry 5, with the first playthrough being a stroll through the story and allowing experimentation, slowly unlocking moves as you go. The game is very careful not to overwhelm a newer player at the start, as you only have access to a handful of moves and techniques, allowing you to test out and try each move in different situations against many different enemy types and explore the characters. It's a slow and deliberate process, preparing you for repeated playthroughs and hard difficulties. Even by the end of the second playthrough, you may not have access to a full toolset of every character. This is a deliberate decision by Capcom to further push the idea of experimentation and push the learning process. On completing a mission, you're ranked based on how stylish you were. This is based on a style meter mechanic. If you do the same attack over and over, you'll end up having a low style rank. The goal is to vary your attack patterns and moves while dodging enemies and countering. If you die in game, you can choose to spend red orbs, which do damage to the enemy and give you health and devil trigger back. You can also spend gold orbs to get health and devil trigger back. You're rewarded for changing your playstyle and throwing out different attacks. Where you're rewarded for getting higher ranks means access to more red orbs, which allow you to purchase more moves. So essentially, the more skilled you are at the game, the more you're rewarded for it.
What's happening? Pissed off!
The game has a mission-based structure, allowing for a quick replay of any mission to improve rank. There's an almost arcade charm to the replayability of missions, almost a homage to Capcom's beat-em-up arcade roots. The story is very focused, with few twists and turns throughout, but nothing that is confusing for any new fan of the series. There's included history of Devil May Cry to get people up and running with the series, which chronologically details the key plot points and characters. Either way, the story is enjoyable to old and new alike. In terms of level design, the first half of the game focuses mainly in dilapidated urban environments. In the first half, you go through gritty urban environments, including buildings, sewers across rooftops and through subways. The second half of the game is focused on the tree. In the tree, you'll experience bloody corridors and twisted routes. While the environment is interesting, it does begin to drain towards the end, with some areas looking largely similar. More time has been spent refining and optimizing the core elements of the Devil May Cry series. Gone are some of the annoying platforming segments of previous games, taking away some variety when exploring environments. However, the combat mechanics are now the core focus, and messing around with the characters never gets tiresome, so the lack of variety can be excused when something is as well designed as the combat in Devil May Cry 5. There are some experimental online features included. In some missions you'll connect with another player. Most of the time, this player will be in the distance, allowing you to spectate them in combat. In rare instances, you'll be fighting side by side, giving these pure moments of absurd spectacle. Although even when it's working, there are still technical issues, such as desyncing between players, and most of these encounters will be short and sweet. To show off the RE engine, Capcom has featured in-game models of all characters and weapons, allowing you to see the care and attention put into the world. You'll also be able to unlock data files to give players more information on the world of Devil May Cry, and concept art to give you a sneak peek into development of the series. These data files are written from the perspective of Nico, so you get sort of an outsider's human perspective to the demon world with all these items. As a bonus, Deluxe Edition owners can experience the live action cutscenes, giving a bit of a hilariously surreal experience which amounts to the passion that the developers have for this project. Overall, Devil May Cry 5 can be a fun button masher for those interested in just a story, or a grueling in-depth brawl with tons of depth and action that is rewarding to learn and master the intricate gameplay mechanics. If and when you fall in love with the combat mechanics, you'll be coming back for days on end, showing off your unique style and combos to others. This title is a glorious spectacle and a treat for the senses. Personally, it's my game of the year, and I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
Thus endeth your requiem.